OK, Leeds new head coach Jesse Marsch believes that there is a stigma against American managers in European football. He held his first news conference ahead of his first match against Leicester on Saturday, and Vinny O'Connor was there, and he joins us live from Elland Road. So, Vinny, the news conference lasted over 40 minutes. What was his vision then for the task ahead?
Well, we got the message that he's no Ted Lasso, that's for sure. Hard work has been instilled in him. That was through his upbringing, of course, from his parents. And he's come to Leeds as he believes it's a good fit for those work ethics as well, for his values. And the stats show that this Leeds side isn't short of a work ethic either. It's about now how you really channel that work ethic to give you the best chance of results. For instance, the man-to-man system that we saw under Bielsa, the impression we get under Jesse Marsch that he's not going to be utilising that. There is a time-to-man mark, notably at set pieces, but we won't see that as a main part of his system, of course. And he says that the response from the players has been good in training as well. They're picking up his ideas quickly. Of course, Marsch arrives here as an American coach, as I kind of alluded to at the start there. And he arrives here without the kind of worldwide praise that we saw for Bielsa when he arrived at Leeds United, of course. We saw the praise from the likes of Pep Guardiola when Bielsa took over. And I suppose in some ways that's another of Marsch's battles, turning around people's perceptions of American coaches.
Yeah, I think there's probably a stigma. I'm not sure Ted Lasso helped. I haven't watched the show, but I get it. Like, people hate hearing the word soccer. They hate hearing, I mean, I've used the word football since I was a professional football player. I think more and more in the States, we're adapting to what the game here is in England and our connection with what this league is and what the culture of the sport is in this country. And all I can say is the only way I know how to do things is to go all in, to give everything I have, to believe in who I am, to believe in the people that I work with, and to try to maximize what we are every day. And I find if you can do that effectively, that you can be incredibly surprised with the human spirit and what you can achieve. So that sounds like Ted Lasso, I think, from what I've heard.
Yeah, he said he wasn't. Look, you can see he's approaching this with a jovial mood, isn't he, Vinny? But they're just 2 points above the relegation places. How tough a job has he got on his hands?
Yeah, I think he needs that sense of humour, not just because of the position that Leeds find themselves in, but of course because he knows that he's replacing a living legend here at Elland Road. Just the pub across the way here from Leeds Stadium will show you that just a high regard that Marcelo Bielsa is held in, because that has been renamed. It is now known as the Bielsa, and before you take into account as well all that Marcelo Bielsa achieved at Leeds United, it shows you it's not surprising really what high regard he is held in by the fans. Jesse Marsch himself has been told, he said at the hotel where he's staying at the moment, that fans have come up to him. It's been great meeting them, and he's been told on numerous occasions how much they love Marcelo Bielsa, but also of course it's reinforced the message how they want him to be successful, how desperate they are to stay in the Premier League. And it is a massive job that's facing him, of course, as well. Leeds have lost 4 on the bounce. They've lost 5 of the last 6 in the Premier League. They've conceded 20 goals in their last 5 Premier League games as well. And when we look at that run of form, obviously, ultimately, a manager's fate is determined by results. But maybe, given what he achieved here, Bielsa didn't really deserve to go out on that kind of a note. Marsch certainly felt that in an ideal world, Bielsa deserved to go out on a high, which would have been the case if he'd have stayed till the end of the season and been able to keep Leeds in the Premier League. And that shows the kind of high regard that Jesse Marsch holds Marcelo Bielsa in.
I said this, I think, in one of the first interviews that I did. I followed, I think, living legends everywhere I've been. The predecessors did a lot of really good things well. Marcelo, I think, changed the mentality of the club and the team. Helped create a winning, successful mentality here, understanding the things that he did well and how to stay true to some of those things. But then in the end, also know that I don't have to be Marcelo Bielsa. It's more important for me to be me and me to provide what this team needs in order to continue to get better and to grow.
Marcelo Bielsa did change the club for the better, but he's left them in a precarious position, just a couple of points above the relegation zone. Burnley have a game in hand, of course, as well, but perhaps good news, because at training today, obviously we saw Patrick Bamford, and why is that good news for Leeds United? Well, possibly the fact that he's in contention for the weekend, maybe a role from the bench 5 Premier League starts just this season for Patrick Bamford. Not played since the 2nd of December, scoring in the 2-2 draw with Brentford, of course. And Leeds have managed just a couple of goals in their last 4 league games, remember. Desperately short of goals. And Patrick Bamford, obviously, a big factor in that. Certainly his absence a big factor in that. Also better news as well in terms of Phillips and Cooper, not too far away from returns themselves. So key figures within that Leeds United squad coming back to full fitness at perhaps the right time for the new manager, Jesse Marsch, who of course gets his Leeds United career underway at the weekend against Leicester.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much, Vinny.